Hello and welcome. You're watching the news. I'm Gargi Rao. This is the show where we bring you all the big news stories of the day. Coming up ahead, the Pawar versus Pawar battle in Maharashtra. Who has the edge? And is the cabinet reshuffle imminent? Who's in, who's out? Let's take a look at the headlines first. A massive twist to the fight between the Pawars for control of the NCP. Ajit Pawar tells the Election Commission Sharad Pawar was removed as the party president on the 30th of June, 2 days before his coup. Around 40 MLAs, MPs and MLCs apparently signed the affidavits choosing Ajit Pawar as the new president, this according to sources. Both Ajit Pawar and Sharad Pawar hold competing meetings today in Mumbai. Ajit Pawar attacks his uncle, saying, "You're 83, you should make way." While at the other meeting, Supriya Sule hits back, saying age is just a number. Sharad Pawar says the party will remain his and points out that his picture was the biggest at the Ajit meeting. BJP aide Praveen Shukla, who sparked outrage after his video urinating on a tribal went viral, was arrested last night. Today, his house in MP's Siddhi was bulldozed. But there's also pressure on the tribal man to deny the story. After the new state chiefs announced in the BJP, is there going to be a cabinet reshuffle soon? Over the last few days, a number of ministers were called for a meeting with BJP chief JP Nadda. In a significant step towards normalcy in Manipur, schools reopened across the state up to the 8th standard after 2 months of ethnic clashes and violence, but attendance thin as many parents are still worried over safety. And a runaway same-sex couple from Rajasthan, a minor girl and teacher, caught in a storm after the girl's family alleges it's love jihad as the teacher is Muslim. The couple are traced to Chennai. All right, the big story, we're tracking all the developments in Maharashtra. It's Pawar versus Pawar, NCP versus NCP. We'll be going across to all our reporters. Arvind joins us here in Delhi, while Sohit and Tanushree join us from Mumbai with all the latest. But first, let's tell you what happened today. In a massive twist in the NCP saga playing out in Maharashtra, where, as I said, uncle and founder of the party, Sharad Pawar, is locked in a tussle with his nephew, Ajit Pawar, for control. It now emerges that Ajit Pawar had held a meeting on the 30th of June, that's 2 days before his coup, and which was on the 2nd of July, and had already removed Sharad Pawar as president of the NCP. Sources in the rebel faction say they mentioned this in their letter to the Election Commission, in which they've staked claim to the party name and election symbol. Ajit Pawar was made president on the 30th, and then on the 2nd is when it went public and he was sworn in as the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra. He claims around 40 MLAs, MPs and MLCs had signed affidavits that day supporting the rebels, which the commission received, according to sources. As we mentioned, now there was a parallel show of strength today in Mumbai. That's what we were reporting through the day, where we saw both the NCP factions holding these meetings, but the majority number of MLAs were with Ajit Pawar, though it was not enough to claim that 2/3 majority. Sharad Pawar said the party name and symbol would remain with him, and even pointed out that his picture was the largest at Ajit Pawar's meeting. This while Ajit Pawar hit out at his uncle about his age, saying that he's 83 and should make way.
आज काही लोकांनी भाषणे की माझ्याबद्दल काय बोलले, पण बोलताना एक सतत सांगत होते की आमचे गुरु आहेत. तुम्ही आज जर आमच्या काही मित्रांचं एक वेगळं काही बैठक झाली, मेळावा झाला, त्या सगळ्याच्या फाशीमागचे फोटो बघितले. त्या फोटोत सगळ्यात मोठा फोटो होता माझा. आज मुंबईमध्ये सुद्धा अनेक ठिकाणी पोस्टर लावली, त्याचा फोटो माझा. त्यांना माहिती आहे की आपलं नाणं चालणार नाही, त्यामुळे जे नाणं चालेल ते चालणारं नाणं घेतलं पाहिजे. कारण त्यांचं नाणं खरं नाही आहे, खंड त्यांना वाजत नाही आहे, हे नाही लोक ओळखतील. त्यामुळे नको की साधन जाऊन टाकायच्या ठिकाणी होतं दाखवा खरं.
मित्रांनो आज स्वतः आपले वरिष्ठ नेते चव्हाण साहेबांच्या समाधीला गेले. ठीक आहे, चव्हाण साहेब आपल्या सगळ्यांचं दैवत आहे. माझ्याकडनं पण घोडचूस झाली होती. मी एक दिवस सकाळी 7 ते संध्याकाळी 8 पर्यंत तिथं न पाणी पिता न काही करता बसलेलो होतो. मला ते खूप मनाला लागलं होतं. परंतु मित्रांनो, काळ आता जर वय जास्त झालं, 82 झालं, 83 झालं, तुम्ही कधी थांबणार आहात का नाही? तुम्ही आशीर्वाद द्या ना. त्याच्या संदर्भामध्ये आम्हाला वाटतं तुम्ही शतायुष्य व्हावं.
लोकांना आईस झालाय असं टीव्ही वाले म्हणतात. मी कधी आरोप करत नाही आणि मी कधी करणारही नाही. माझ्या वाचनात आणि ऐकण्यात आता आलं की काही लोकांचं म्हणणं आहे की काही लोकांचं वय झालंय, त्याच्यामुळे त्यांनी फक्त आशीर्वाद द्यावे. का बरं आशीर्वाद द्यावे? रतन टाटा साहेबांपेक्षा 3 वर्षांनी मोठे आहेत. आजही टाटा ग्रुप पोट तिरकीनी लढतात आणि सगळ्यात मोठा कुठला ग्रुप आहे आज देशात? टाटा ग्रुप आहे. रतन टाटांचं वय काय? 86. त्याच्यानंतर सिरम इन्स्टिट्यूट घेतलं का नाही इंजेक्शन? सायरस पुनावालाचं वय काय? 84. साहेबांचे आणि पाटील काकांचे वयाचे आहेत. एका वर्गात होते सगळे. किती? 84. त्याच्यानंतर अमिताभ बच्चन किती वय? 82. आज कुठली जाहिरात लागताना सगळ्यात पॉप्युलर नाम कोण आहे? अमिताभ बच्चन. वय किती? 82. त्याच्यानंतर इंग्रजीवाल्यांना माहिती आहे वॉरेन बफेट. अरे सबसे देखो तो फारुख अब्दुल्ला साहेबांपेक्षा 3 वर्षांनी मोठे आहेत. मला विचारलं अरे क्या हो रहा है एनसीपी में? मतलब अंकल ऐसे ऐसे हो रहा है. अरे लड़ले, मैं तो शरद से 3 साल बड़ा हूं. मैं लड़ रहा हूं, शरद को बोल मेरे तरह तू भी लड़ ले. अरे एजीचा नंबर जिद्द पाहिजे. आशीर्वाद तर आहेतच, पण आपल्या वडिलांना म्हणायचं की तुम्ही घरी बसा आणि आशीर्वाद घ्या. मग आम्ही पोरी परवडल्या हो.
Well, let's now go across to our reporters. And Sohit, first to you, as we've been saying through the day, the numbers seem to be with Ajit Pawar. 29 MLAs came to his meeting, and now also the news emerging that he had already removed his uncle and made himself party president on the 30th of June.
Well, that's right, and the message has been shared by Ajit Pawar himself. But 29 is the number that he has, and that is what we have been reporting since day one, as our sources have been saying. But this 29 number is not enough, Gargi, if we talk about this entire issue. Because if the number that he has behind him on such a crucial day is 29, then that means he does not have the 2/3 faction of the MLAs that he requires. And this is a small win for Sharad Pawar, because if that is the case, then there will be anti-defection law that will be used against Ajit Pawar and his MLAs. In fact, as we all know, there is a legal issue that is going on. And yes, as you rightly mentioned, now Ajit Pawar has said that he is the party president, and he has sent this letter on 30th of June, the very same day when he resigned from the post of the leader of opposition. Now, this has been done in a very technical move because they know what were the observations made by the Supreme Court in the Eknath Shinde faction. But if you are saying that Sharad Pawar is no more the party president, and on the same hand, when you are doing or addressing the press conference as well as the entire meeting that happened, the biggest photo behind Ajit Pawar was of Sharad Pawar. So what exactly does Ajit Pawar want to portray? And let me tell you, when we are speaking to the people as well as the workers over here, that statement of Ajit Pawar where he said, you are 83 years old, now you should go and take some rest, that did not go well among the masses. And I am sure that in the days ahead, Ajit Pawar will make a clarification on that, because that is something that won't go well, especially across the NCP workers, the cadres who are with Ajit Pawar or with Sharad Pawar, because all of them have a different set of respect for Sharad Pawar altogether. So that is one part, but yes, this is all now a legal battle that is going to be fought. In fact, even where I am present, this is the Yashwantrao Chauhan Auditorium, where we saw a huge crowd in the morning, and since morning people were present. There was a similar thing that we saw during the entire Shiv Sena rebellion. Affidavits were being signed over here as well, and now people are saying we are with Sharad Pawar. In fact, two of the MLAs and one MP who were present at the meeting that was called by Ajit Pawar on Sunday ahead of the oath-taking ceremony, and one MP and one MLA in fact were present at the oath-taking ceremony, but they have also joined Sharad Pawar. And one thing which will also become a technical issue ahead is that these MLAs have been saying that we weren't given any idea on what paper are we signing, and now we come to know that that was an affidavit. So how will this go in the Supreme Court or in the Election Commission will be very important to see. But yes, there is a huge and a long battle that is which will be fought in both the Election Commission of India, the Supreme Court, as well as a decision will be taken by the Speaker of Maharashtra Assembly as well.
Right, definitely. It's going to be a long legal battle. But Tanushree, for the moment, what can you tell us about the Ajit Pawar camp? The MLAs were taken to a hotel. He made this long speech. He also spoke about his cousin Supriya Sule and also about how he wasn't born into the powerful family.
That's right. In fact, it's raining cats and dogs outside. But that's the thing about, Maharashtra and especially Mumbai, Gargi, that rain doesn't stop anything here, neither the work nor the politics. And today was a classic example of that. Both the factions, the Sharad Pawar faction and the Ajit Pawar camp, both of them had to stage their separate show of strength. And Ajit Pawar somehow, even if the numbers are 29 on Ajit Pawar's faction and 17 on Sharad Pawar's faction, Ajit Pawar at least managed to upstage his uncle, managed to upstage Sharad Pawar. If we just talk about the number of MLAs he has, definitely as Sohit was rightly mentioning, that he still do not have the 2/3 or do not have the majority of the MLAs. As a matter of fact, we know that there are 53 NCP MLAs in the 288 Maharashtra Assembly. Now, coming back to your question, today, Ajit Pawar was all out, and we could tell that by his body language, by the words he was using. As Sohit said, that when he talked about Sharad Pawar's age, that even in BJP, politicians retire at the age of 75. Now you should also retire and make way for the young people. That statement hasn't gone down well, even with the supporters who were, of Ajit Pawar, who were present there in Bandra where the meeting was taking place. But that's what by Ajit Pawar's words, we could very well tell that he exactly knew what he was talking about. He also talked about their ideology and BJP's ideology. He said that when we can merge with Shiv Sena, then what is the problem with the Bharatiya Janata Party? Today, under the leadership of Narendra Modi, the country is growing, and we are joining the NDA as a separate entity, as an individual entity. So those were the words of Ajit Pawar, very, very out there, but still very calculated. So let's see now what happens in the court. Back to you.
All right. So these meetings, of course, a lot of show of strength, a lot of talk, a lot of emotions there. But let's get down to the legalese of it all. And Arvind, it does seem that Ajit Pawar clearly had, very good legal guidance given the move he made on the 30th, removing his uncle as president, at least on paper, and becoming president himself, because that, in a sense, circumvents certain moves by the Sharad Pawar camp now.
Yeah, Gargi, the legal battle has begun in this NCP versus NCP or Ajit Pawar versus Sharad Pawar battle, with Ajit Pawar moving the election commission, taking claim for the party and also party symbol under the election symbols order. Also, very importantly, let me clarify this particular point. The two-third majority that we are discussing holds no ground when it comes to this particular case, because the two-third majority is under the anti-defection law. Unless and until a faction has two-third majority, they cannot merge themselves with any other political party or any other legislative party. So unless and until they don't have two-third majority, they will face the acts of anti-defection law. So that seems to be the provision in the anti-defection law. But in this particular case, this two-third majority has no value at all, because here they are not merging themselves with any particular political party. Look at Ajit Pawar. Ajit Pawar is claiming that he is NCP. So this two-third majority has no value whatsoever when it comes to this particular case. More so, over with the recent judgment in the Supreme Court judgment in the Shiv Sena matter, wherein Supreme Court has said that even if someone has two-third majority, they cannot claim to act independent. A group of MLAs, if they have two-third majority also, they cannot claim to act independently because they have to act as per the wishes of the political party. So Supreme Court in as many words has made it very clear in Shiva Sena judgment that legislative party cannot function independent of the political party. So it's very clear that two-third majority has no value when it comes to this particular case. But what did Ajit Pawar do? Ajit Pawar has made a very smart move in order to circumvent the Supreme Court judgment in Shiva Sena case, wherein he in a resolution, according to him, majority of the party MLAs and also legislative wing and also organization wing, both the wings have appointed him or elected him as the NCP president. That means from June 30th, it is Ajit Pawar who is the president of NCP. So on July 2nd, a group of MLAs led by Ajit Pawar joined the government of Eknath Shinde. That's where, in order to circumvent this particular judgment of Supreme Court in Shiva Sena matter, what Ajit Pawar is trying to claim now is that it's not just a group of MLAs, they have joined the government of Eknath Shinde, but it's the NCP, the party itself has joined the government in Maharashtra, and that's why this particular date, the June 30th, and this particular claim that Ajit Pawar has been elected as the president of NCP will help them to protect themselves from the disqualification proceedings. If at all Speaker accepts this particular resolution appointing Ajit Pawar as the president of political party, that means the Speaker can also throw the disqualification petition that have been moved against Ajit Pawar and 8 other MLAs by Sharad Pawar faction to dustbin.
All right, so long legal battle ahead because some of the MLAs claim they didn't know what they were signing when they apparently signed that affidavit. Thank you so much all for joining us on this big story. We'll continue to track all those developments. But moving on for the moment to news now from Madhya Pradesh, and Shukla, the BJP aide who was seen on camera urinating on a tribal man, was arrested late last night after the video had created massive uproar, even though the incident took place several days ago. The Chief Minister ordered he be booked under NSA, and today the Madhya Pradesh government's infamous bulldozer action was seen at his house in Siddhi. Meanwhile, the tribal man was pressurized to deny the incident. Anurag Dwari with the details.
Praveen Shukla, who was seen urinating on a tribal man in an inebriated state, kept hopping from one place to another, trying to avoid arrest, was caught at 2 a.m. on Tuesday and placed under interrogation. A case has been registered against him under the National Security Act, SC/ST Act and other sections of the Indian Penal Code.
रात में ही गिरफ्तारी उसकी कर ली गई थी। घटना अशोभनीय है, निंदनीय है, मानवता को शर्मसार करने वाली घटना है।
The administration demolished his house in Siddhi. The family kept pleading. Meanwhile, the BJP MLA from Siddhi, Kedar Shukla, said it's a political fight.
टिकट की लड़ाई है, विधानसभा के टिकट की लड़ाई है।
लेकिन कई जगहों पर तो आप लोग बगैर जांच के चलवा देते हैं जब आरोपी दूसरे धर्म का हो।
नहीं, बगैर जांच के कहीं नहीं चलता है। जहाँ जांच होती है वहाँ अगर अतिक्रमण होगा तो जो बुलडोजर चलेगा, अतिक्रमण नहीं होगा तो क्यों चलेगा?
The outrageous incident sparked political controversy in the poll-bound state as the opposition Congress attacked the ruling BJP in the matter.
ये घटना मध्य प्रदेश के करोड़ों आदिवासी भाई बहनों का अपमान है। मैं शिवराज सरकार को चेतावनी देता हूँ कि आदिवासी समाज पर हो रहे अत्याचारों को सरकारी संरक्षण देना बंद करें।
The victim, 36-year-old Dasmat Rawat from Karrondi, when brought in for questioning by the police, dismissed the viral video as fake. He also had prepared an affidavit stating that the video is fake and was created to frame Shukla in a false case. However, sources say that the affidavit was allegedly prepared under duress and has not yet been submitted to any authorities.
प्रभावशाली लोग हैं, वो हमेशा छोटे लोगों को दबाते, तो ये तो स्वाभाविक बात है कि उनको दबाव बनाया जा रहा होगा कई तरीके, चाहे पैसे देके, चाहे दादागिरी से।
The shocking incident is a symptom of a wider problem of violence against tribal people in Madhya Pradesh. National Crime Records Bureau also validates the same. In Bhopal, with camera person Rizwan Khan, Anurag Dwari for NDTV.
News from Manipur, where at least 2,000 plus village defence volunteers today came out in Churachandpur district along with the local public and carried out a rally. The village defence volunteers were wearing black fatigues as a mark of protest, and the rally was aimed as a protest against the gruesome killing of David Thiek at Langza earlier this week, where the young man was beheaded. Meanwhile, in a significant step towards normalcy, schools have reopened across Manipur up to the 8th standard after the 2 months of ethnic clashes forced them to close. But the first day's attendance was very thin. Continued sporadic violence in the state has many parents worried about safety. Ratnadeep Chaudhary reports.
Students and teachers are back in classrooms in many parts of Manipur as schools reopened for the first time in 2 months.
Write the question missing the 2-digit number and a 3-digit number. Okay, you have to arrange according to their list.
I feel very happy after meeting my teachers and friends. I can finally study in this school after 2 months. I hope there's no more shutdown again.
My mind is very also refreshing to see my friends, and I'm not resuming my studies now, so I'm happy.
96 schools have been exempted from reopening as they have been turned into relief camps. Over 4,000 schools will be partially opened up. Day 1 saw very thin attendance.
How many children are there?
Today's attendance, as we have seen, it is only around 20%, and but finally I'm really thankful to the government of Manipur, as though they have tried twice to reopen, but finally today we have able to reopen the school.
Even as a first step to normalcy has been taken, some parents express concerns about the safety of their children.
Texto laibagi condition laibani maduda akoina katang program oidrana akoigi gazjana mo oibagi katang chingnaba ma kijaba ma laiba within 5 days ki matungda happy magi condition ama yengaga tharkian habdi normal.
Opening schools in remote and hill areas remains a major challenge, with about 6,000 students among those displaced, as sporadic incidents of violence, firing and killings continue in the state. With BM Sanju in Imphal, in Guwahati, Ratnadeep Chaudhary for NDTV.
The Cabinet today cleared the much-awaited Digital Personal Data Protection Bill, and this will be tabled soon in Parliament. Well, let's go across to Sunil for more on this. And Sunil, the bill has been simplified in this final form, and also the contentious clause on storage in India has been removed.
That's right, Gargi. In fact, the contentious clause, as well as this, it's now called the Digital Data Bill, and really, be it government or as well as private, they will have to tell the users, that is people like you or me, that they're collecting data and that they're storing the data. This will, of course, as you rightly pointed out, be in digital form. So the question of being it in iCloud, so whether it has to be localized in India does not really apply in that context. It's going to be, of course, prospectively, as well as, of course, if for any kind of data violation, there are huge fines. And they have made it, simplified it to this extent, as one official explained to me, agnostic towards technologies to ensure that the framework, the Digital India Bill, the Digital Data Protection Bill, ensure, apart from the other bills that is envisaged, that you and me are protected and that our privacy is respected. This is the first, and let us hope and see how this goes through in Parliament.
Right. Thanks so much, Sunil, for joining us with those details. Now, in Rajasthan, a same-sex couple caught in a love jihad storm. A minor student ran away with her teacher from Dungarghar Gaon, and the family lodged a case of kidnapping and then claimed love jihad as the teacher was Muslim. The Rajasthan police finally caught the couple in Chennai, but they released a video before that claiming to be in love. But since the case involves a minor, the Child Welfare Committee will decide her fate. Harsha reports.
It's a love story gone horribly wrong when a young 17-year-old girl from Rajasthan's Bikaner eloped with her 20-year-old teacher, as they were in a same-sex relationship. It led to protests in Dungargarh town. The minor's family filed a case of kidnapping against the 20-year-old teacher and her family, and also a case for abducting a minor and pressurizing her into marriage. The police who traced the couple in Chennai is now bringing them back. Right-wing organizations in the city have in the meantime given this case a love jihad angle. But the video released by the two asks only that they be left alone, as their relationship will not be acceptable in society.
किसी और लड़के के साथ में शादी नहीं कर सकते, तब हमने ये भागने का फैसला किया और इन्होंने कोई जबरदस्ती नहीं की। मेरे साथ मैं खुद आई हूँ उनके साथ।
In Jaipur, Harsha Kumari Singh, NDTV.